Hello and welcome to Equipping Women. Tonight we're going to be talking about the blessing of the gift of singleness in our churches. And so, one of the things we're going to look at tonight is the way that we can encourage each other as singles and married people and better minister to our single sisters in Christ here. And so, tonight I'm joined by Cara Steitz. Cara, I'm going to let you just sort of tell us about yourself instead of
Okay.
me leading that conversation. Although I will
Okay.
if you don't answer something I want. So
Okay.
let me start with the most important thing.
Okay.
Tell us about when you were saved, that kind of thing
Okay.
first.
That was when I was a freshman in high school, actually. I was at Franklin County High School. And I started going to a church here in town. And I was involved actually with FAD
Okay,
that
yeah.
the ARC has hosted in
Uh-huh.
high school with all the high school girls. So that's kind of how that all started
So the Aristia
originally.
family, are they your connection with Buckran? That's,
Yes.
you knew them and they
Yes.
sort of brought you in? Well,
Yeah. So Carrie and I met after 8th grade by
okay.
mutual friends.
Well, thank the
So,
Lord for the
yeah.
Aristias. They're
Yeah.
they're awesome. Okay, and so Buck Run was
Yes.
introduced to you by
Yes.
them. Was
Yes.
that when Zach was here? What or
I went
Dan?
to yeah, I went to a couple youth things when he was here,
Okay,
but I wasn't coming here like all the time
okay,
at that point. So it wasn't really until after college that I started coming here all the time.
okay. Speaking of college, what is that for you? What are you
Um,
doing?
so I went to Penn State. I graduated in 2017,
Uh huh.
and then came back here when I graduated and back in school. Can't get enough, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And studying what?
nursing.
And,
Yes.
and do you specialize kind or just
Right now it's just nursing. So it's a
okay?
2-year program. It's just an accelerated second degree program. So you get your BSN and your MSN.
Uh huh.
So I'll graduate in May of 2022. So
Wow. Yeah.
it'll be here before we know it.
So I asked you before this started, and you said
Hmm.
it's virtual and a little bit of in person going on right
Yes.
now. So it's
Yes.
strange kind of
Strange.
learning, but it
Different.
works.
It works.
It works.
They're making it work.
All right, and let's find out now what I see you floating around still here at church. So I know you're serving in a ministry capacity.
Hmm.
What kind of serving are you doing? What's your area of service here now?
Right now, I'm helping with the welcome team. Before all the COVID stuff happened, I was doing kids ministry on Wednesday nights and then teaching high school girls, freshman high school
Oh,
girls,
how
on Sunday
fun!
mornings. So
Oh, how
we
fun!
miss it, but
Yeah, yeah. Do you
yes.
get to do, are you doing any of the D Now stuff or school's got you out of that?
I haven't been doing that recently,
Okay.
no,
Oh,
but
no, the D group, the discipleship groups, not that one. You're not
no,
doing
no,
that now.
not
What'd you do with
recently.
the kids ministry?
Wednesday nights I served with Tammy,
Okay.
so she was great. It was awesome. We did 2-year-olds, so just during the Wednesday night
Oh, so
service.
you've had one of mine, I'm sure, one of my grandkids in there, surely.
We, I think I had Harper
Okay, that's
when
it.
she was 2. How old is she now?
She's 5. So
Okay. Maybe I had Harper?
maybe, I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Okay, well,
At
you've
least for a
had
little bit.
you've had some of our little loves here, some way,
Yes.
some form or fashion.
Yes.
All right, so let's launch into what's your experience. Let's just hit on the whole singleness aspect of this. What's your experience been like here as a single woman at Buck Run?
It's honestly, it's awesome. I don't,
Yeah.
I've made a lot of friends with all stages of life, married, single, just all walks of life, all seasons of life. So it's been awesome. Everybody is super just welcoming and encouraging. And it's not like, I don't ever feel like, oh, I'm the single one.
That's a
So
good
that's
word.
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of all together. It doesn't really feel different in that aspect.
Well,
So,
and that's some of that's on you
hmm,
to make sure that happens, and some of that's on us to make sure that
yeah.
happens. That we see that, and the fact that what it's created. You being a single here, you have different relationships and different opportunities. Tell me about some of your relationships here. Like, obviously, you're not just friends with single people here. You're not
Yeah.
just staying in a single group.
Yes.
Tell me about some of your relationships here.
They kind of are all over the board,
Yeah.
honestly.
Uh-huh.
So, serving obviously in the kids ministry, Mel was actually my preschool teacher.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Really?
yeah.
That's cool.
So she
Yeah.
taught me all I knew in preschool, Um, Tammy, serving with Tammy is just
Is this Tammy
great.
Brown?
Tammy Brown,
Uh-huh.
yes. So that's just awesome. Her son and I went to school together too.
Yeah.
So, but
So they're like around my age-ish,
hmm
a little bit younger, but
yeah,
that. And
yeah. But they're awesome.
they are. I mean, just
Yes.
they're the things they bring into your world and the things they bring into
hmm
your life and vice versa, the
Yeah.
things that happen there. All
Yeah.
right, so let's talk about some things like what are ways that you feel like we first of all, let's talk about how we do encourage you well.
Okay.
Like as a married woman, what's some of the things that I either can't that I do right now, or the
hmm
married ladies here at Buck Run, or folks, married men even for that matter at Buck Run, that married couples help encourage you in?
I honestly think just including us in everything. I mean, I think of community groups, for example. I know that there's a lot of great community groups. I'm in one also and have gotten to know all of those people really well. And it's never felt like, again, like I said before, like I'm the single one or anything like that. I've made a lot of married friends through those groups who are just encouraging and, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think one of the a, I hate to say it as a flaw of churches is they pigeonhole and
hmm
they segregate and
Yeah.
separate, and they
Yeah.
go, well, these we'll put this group of people with a like group of people and this group of people. But I'm trying to think, like even in our college
hmm
community group, we have, you know, a single, older single lady, we have a married couple, we have an older married couple, and then
Yeah.
lots of college age kids. I think it's really important to have all those ages and stages
I agree.
in your life.
Yes.
And you know, that's what friends and community should look like.
hmm
What's your community group look like? You say you've got married couples in there.
Yeah,
Which one is
it's
yours?
I'm in the Moors.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's mostly married couples, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And I think that's a thing that Buck Run does really well is community. And I think whether you're single or whether you're married or whether you're 20 or whether you're 80, I think that's huge. And I think that that's something that we do really well here to encourage people in all walks, including singleness, is just really enhancing that community. And I know when I first came to Buck Run too, that's what I noticed is that we walk in the door and it's like, hey, we have community groups. These are things you should we encourage you to do, not that you have to do, but these are available to you and these are people that will love you and encourage you and walk with you, and I think that's just huge.
Yeah, this is a big plug for community groups right here
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I am sold on
Mhm.
community. You know,
Yeah.
there is obviously the preaching of the word is primary, but
Yes.
man, just helping someone walk through making sure we're applying that word to our life, and
Mhm.
that is where community serves us in incredible ways. It just
Mhm.
gives us sort of a boundaries and standing,
Yeah.
helps us stand in encouragement. And I love relationships with single women.
Yeah.
It's delightful to me. I like watching their world open up,
Yeah.
and you know, decisions that they are making in their life at that time are they're going to have long-term effects. You know, I
Mhm.
know like what your career choices are. Sometimes who you might be dating,
Yeah.
who you're hanging out with, how you're spending your free time. All of those
Mhm.
things end up being bigger decisions than just a momentary thing. And so I
Yes.
love watching how the Lord just makes it. It's funny. I'll look back. This morning I looked at something on Facebook and it was memories that popped up.
Yeah.
And there's a precious friend of mine, a single friend of mine, Rachel, shout out if she's there. And she is serving in like a camp ministry situation,
Okay.
and she's just done this so well. And I've, I've known her for, oh gosh, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many years now. I want to say 15, 20 years.
Mhm.
But watching just how the Lord has from when I first met her to how he's just expanded her
Yeah.
life. It's been just very cool to me. In some ways, I live vicariously through her
Yeah.
and watching her be able to do some very cool things
Yeah.
because she
That's
has time with that.
awesome.
All right, so
Yeah.
you say include us,
Yes.
um, befriend you,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
so do you feel weird just like if somebody says, "Hey, come over and we'd love to get to know you"? It's not a weird thing, right?
No, I love it. Please. Every
Yeah,
day of the week.
yeah, right. And you can figure out your boundaries now during this COVID thing of mask up or mask off, and
Yes.
but anything else you can think of that we do well right now
Um,
that helps you?
Honestly, I just think it's being that encouragement and being
Yeah,
that community and inclusion. And like you said, not really separating into groups of these are the single people, these are the married people,
right.
and we're going to have these two groups. It's just mixing everybody together because I think we learn from married couples and maybe married couples learn from single people.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. You bring a sweet flavor that it's not normal in my world. And so, it's not like daily in my world is
right,
a better word. And
right.
so, having that is just like, oh, wow, yeah. Like, I like hearing about what you're doing now in your
Thanks.
school. Um, okay, then how about being single is just one part of who you are, just like being married is one
Right.
part of who I am. Because whether we are married or want to be married or content to be single, the one thing that I think is most important for us, I know that is most important for us, is our relationship with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some ways that you can be encouraged, that singles can be encouraged in their relationship with the Lord, not just in simple things like a community group, like you come to us?
Mm-hmm.
Are there ways that you can help you walk well? Like, do you feel comfortable like having somebody sort of hold you accountable, or like what are things that you would say? What strengthens up your relationship with the Lord that we as married folks can help in singles' lives?
Yeah, I think accountability is huge.
Hmm.
We're not with our spouse who
Hmm.
is holding us accountable or anything like that. So I think accountability is huge. And yeah, I'm definitely comfortable with that. And I think that's a great thing.
Hmm.
Um, and I think singleness, it's not better or worse than being married. It's just a
Hmm.
season of life. And
Hmm.
whether, like you said, whether you desire to be married or whether the Lord has called you to singleness, I think about it for me. I do desire to be married, and I know that
Hmm.
this is the stage of life that
Hmm.
I'm in now. But I read a quote the other day. I don't remember exactly the wording, but it
Hmm.
was like whether you are single or whether you are married, it's a gift from the Lord. It's a
Sure.
season, it's a gift. So
Hmm.
embrace it and live it and put the Lord first because we can't like find our fulfillment in marriage ultimately. We know
Right.
that our fulfillment is in Christ and that's our
Hmm.
mission is not marriage, but
Yeah.
it's a good if we have that desire, it's a good desire, but
Right. Right.
that's not our mission as a Christian ultimately, I guess, if
Right.
that makes sense.
It makes absolutely perfect sense because it really is. And so, one of the things I think at Buckrun, like that we want to do well, we want to do better, is things like help strengthen people up in their walk in the Lord, no matter who you are, no matter what
Mhm.
stage you're in.
Yeah.
Children, no children, single with children, single without children, whatever it is.
Right.
How is it that we can meet you where you are and then move you a little further along in your relationship with the Lord? And so, do you like participating in Bible studies? Is that something that's enjoyable to you? Like
Yeah,
with,
Bible studies are great.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, anything like that that is just a group of accountability, like you were saying before,
uh huh.
is awesome. And walking together in what we're reading or what we're studying,
Hmm.
I think is just awesome. And I think that goes for singles and married people as well. I mean,
Right. Just curious, what's one of your favorite? Do you have a favorite study you've done? A either a themed one or a favorite Bible study leader or a book of the Bible? Anything just jump out at you that's
so we did. I'm trying to think of when that was. Everything's kind of blurring
I
together
know,
before
I know,
2020.
right, right. We did a Jen Wilkin one. Have you ever done
Yes,
any of
that's the
hers?
one, First Peter.
Okay,
The
yeah,
First Peter one. I
yeah,
thought that was awesome.
that
I love
is.
First Peter.
Did you do the night? We did like one here, a daytime one or a nighttime
I
one.
did the nighttime
I was
one.
in the
So,
daytime one, so that's why our paths
okay.
didn't cross with it.
Okay.
So yeah, we were doing Wednesday morning, I think, and you were Thursday night, maybe.
Thursday, maybe.
Anyway, yeah,
Feels
so
like a long time ago.
that was a good study,
Yeah, that was
and
awesome.
meeting with I loved it because in that group was all walks
Yes.
and
Yeah.
all people in different stages. And
Yeah.
just at my table, I was a table leader, and at my table, I think there were 6 of us at the table. I had a, a senior lady,
Yeah.
almost 90, I think. She was like
That's
old, like
awesome.
really
Yeah.
awesomely old. And then her daughter was in there, and her granddaughter. The 3 of
Wow.
them were all part of my table. So
That's awesome.
seeing that generational thing was very, very cool. And then a couple of ladies who weren't members at Buck Run had joined in. Again, one single, one not, and it was just such a neat
Yeah.
flavor and the way the questions went. And here's what uh, I loved especially about that is it turned into not just about, well, here's what my life's like, here's what your life's like. It was like, what's a life of a godly Christian woman look like?
Yes. Yeah.
How can I pursue the Lord and my relation with Him be
Mhm.
strengthened up? And so I'm guessing that kind of thing
Yes.
feeds my soul too. By the way,
Yeah.
you can hold me accountable. You can, yeah, because I want to do this. I want to do this well, and I
Yeah.
want to do it better.
Yeah.
How about like families with kids? Is that a good thing for singles or not? Like to be brought into that?
Yeah. I love that too.
Do
A
you?
lot of
Well,
my
like
friends are
obviously the
families with
Moors,
kids.
because
Yes.
they've got a band of banshees,
Yeah.
right? I mean that in the most loving way, by the way.
They're
They're
awesome.
awesome.
They're awesome if you're watching.
They are great. It's a great family, great kids. I love them, and they love people well,
Yes.
and so bringing
Yes.
in groups of that. But like, so what do you see as other ministries singles could involve themselves in? How did you get involved in the ministry you're doing? Did somebody just invite you, or did
For
you?
the kids ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually just helped one week. I think I was covering for somebody maybe who wasn't able to be there,
Uh-huh.
just like subbing,
Mm-hmm.
and then ended up plugging in a little bit more to that. And it helped because I did know Mel previously, reconnecting from
Right.
my
Yeah.
young little,
Yeah.
however old, 4-year-old years. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then just kind of stayed involved in the same group. Tammy and I just kept going with the 2-year-olds. So we've gotten to know a lot of the parents through that, a lot of the kids through that, each other through that, and Mel through that. It's
Yeah.
just, there's a
Well,
lot of connections that stem from that.
so I would encourage singles to put themselves out there
Yeah.
and say, hey, if you need things, and I know we've just started back up our, hopefully, asking the Lord that we can keep our
Yeah.
children's ministry open right now, but no matter, to volunteer, to
Yeah.
say, look, I'm here to help out.
Yeah.
So you basically were just asked to fill in, and did that. So somebody approached you, but I think I know you well enough. You just go, hey, I can help out that. How'd you get involved in the welcome ministry? Did you get drafted, or did you volunteer?
I think a mixture of both.
Uh-huh.
I love doing it, honestly, especially not having all of the same, everything being the same with COVID and everything. The welcome team is awesome, and you get to see a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it's great. It really is.
Well, and the strength of this opportunity for a single is great because, first of all, you're not corralling children. You can get here earlier.
yeah.
You're not having to make sure a bunch of other things are covered.
Yeah.
You cover you.
Yes.
And then you show up and you're able to engage immediately with all
Yeah.
that. So that's a good ministry opportunity to get involved in. I'm trying to think of I think our children's ministry, obviously our music ministry is a little bit on hold right now, but are you doing Zoom stuff at all right now, like ministry Zoom meeting at all in that way?
No.
No?
No, not
Well,
right
then
now.
start something. There we
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
There you go. Just start
There
your
you
group
go.
and get it
Yeah.
up. maybe I should start it and invite you, be my first
Okay.
invite. We'll
Okay.
just meet up weekly with that.
Yeah.
All right, you think of anything else that is helpful? What I like that you are saying most is that there aren't things that differentiate you from as a woman of
Yeah.
God, that there are a lot more similarities that
Yeah,
we
there really
have.
are. Yeah.
And the things that we aspire to do are very much the same thing.
Yeah.
And glorifying the Lord with our life, serving him in our church. And so
Mhm.
I would encourage like singles, give a shout out to these singles. Tell them how it's enhanced your life
Yeah.
and how it will be helpful if they would do such a thing.
Yeah, I think
So you go,
honestly, yeah, like we were saying, put yourself out there. Go get involved and volunteer. That's huge for just meeting other people and going back to the whole accountability thing. That's making those connections is so big in that. And I think not being afraid to put yourself out there. And yeah, I think there's ways to serve in the church no matter if you're single, if you're married, or if you're 20 or if you're 70. I mean, it may look different, and I think that that's okay. I mean, as a
yeah,
single
it's actually
person,
what we want.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
As a single person, like you were saying, I can be there for a welcome team because I'm not getting kids ready in the morning and I'm
right.
not waiting for anybody else. I just go when I'm ready and I leave when I'm ready. So it's a little bit easier for me maybe than if you have young kids or something. Not that it's not doable, but
Right.
it looks different. But married couples that open up their homes for a group of people to come over on Sunday nights is also maybe something that I don't have right now. So it just looks different depending on what stage you're in. But I think that there's a place for everybody to be able to serve. And I think that's also something that background has done well, is just opening up those doors to allow opportunities for everybody. So,
Well, as I want to do better. She's challenged me, and even in the preparation for looking at this, um, I I engage with a lot of singles here in the church, but I want to use my home. I think because having you in my home is much different than just
yeah.
having you in my life.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so there's another dimension that brings you in closer and holds
Yes.
you a little more accountable.
Yeah.
I get all up in your business once you're in my home. Just be warned.
Do it.
Okay. And there is just something that is precious and a gift in relationships. And even during this time where it's really, I think, a little awkward and we're still, the lines move a lot right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, we're open. Nope, we're not open. You know,
Yeah.
now we're free to do this. But even now, be strategizing ways that you can, because what I'm seeing happen is people are anticipating what they're going to do once life is normal
Yeah.
again. We don't know how long that is going to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
We don't know what normal is anymore at this,
Yes.
what it's going to look like. And so now as Christians, we have to figure out, how do we do this
Yeah.
community, me with you, you with me, in this time that the Lord has?
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the future holds. And so just trying to figure out that dance. So
Yeah.
I want to figure out a way where I can engage with you, whether it's through, like Marco Polo, or
Yeah.
do you have Marco Polo?
I don't have it anymore. I did
Yeah, I
have it
deleted it
before.
off my
Yeah.
phone too. I had it for a while. But whatever.
We
It's
can
fine.
bring it back,
We
you
can,
know?
yeah, just for us. But figuring out how to do that well, because our most, I think the thing that I hope you hear us say, that the most important thing about us is not our station of singleness or marriedness in life, but basically our
Yeah.
relationship with God.
Yeah.
And our purpose as a Christian is to live a life that glorifies God, whatever that is,
Yeah.
whatever flavors that bring. And then our highest calling is to love others as God loves us.
Yes.
So I want to love you well. I want to be loved well
Right.
by other Christians. And so, as sons and daughters of the Lord, I think the best thing that we can do in married couples, married women, single women, is just concentrate more on not finding out how your life is like a singleness, but John Wesley used to ask the question all the time, and he would say, "How is it with your soul?"
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
And you would rather me, and I think it's more fruitful
Yeah.
to to pose the questions in our single friends' lives of, so how is it with your soul?
Mhm.
How is it with your walk with the Lord? And that always needs strengthening and
Mhm.
encouraging. I don't care what stage you're in. You
Yeah.
always need somebody who comes along there beside you doing such a thing. So,
Yeah.
Kara, thank you, my friend,
Thanks
for
for
doing
having
this. Do you have a
me.
last word
Yeah.
for us?
Um, just live the season that you're in. Know that it is a gift from the Lord. Put Him first and involve yourself in the church, and it really is a huge blessing. So,
I'd close with, I have a verse of scripture that I really, really love. 1 Corinthians 15:58, and it says, "Be steadfast."
mhm.
I like that. I like the word
Yeah.
steadfast. Unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know, your labor is not in vain in the
Mhm.
Lord,
Yeah.
and it will always produce good fruit.
Yes.
Always, it's
Yes.
always sweet fruit.
Yes.
Um, Sometimes it's odd fruit, but it's sweet fruit.
Still
Okay,
sweet.
yeah. So, all right, next, let's see, on Thanksgiving, obviously, we'll be taking off that week, and then we'll be picking back up for a few more episodes with sort of holiday Christmas themes. So, you'll have
It's
to
exciting.
catch
Yeah.
that. Guest to be announced later, but blessings to you all, and again, be faithful. Bye, guys.